and media and all the good and bad things.
That's a
that
good
come with
one.
that.
That's a really important topic, especially today.
Mm-hmm.
I said especially instead of especially.
Today, this day, not in this day and age, just today.
Welcome to today, February 24th, where social media is the most important, but only today.
Only today.
Great. Well, you know what?
Redlining.
I like it. Let's do that. Let's talk
Okay.
about social media if we had a podcast.
Steve's going to get to this. He's going to be like, what is this?
I know. He's an amazing producer. And if you haven't listened to our disclaimer for our podcast on episode 1, go check it out. While you're there, listen to the whole episode and then move to episode 2 and episode 3. You are officially at episode 4.
I'll start out by saying that there is good and bad in every form of media and social media.
Mm-hmm.
Because on one hand, you can meet amazing people from anywhere in the world, but you can also meet really bad people who are pretending to be good people. And it's just really important to be aware of, like, making sure that there's no red flags or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what would be some red flags you'd look out for?
If they say that they want to meet you in person.
Creepy.
Or if they are, like, trying to make you not get off your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're like, I have to go to dinner. And you're like, no, just, like, stay here and keep on texting with
just
me.
really aggressive.
Yeah, and trying to, like, close you off
Mm-hmm.
from other, like, things in your life. Because there's so many instances of, like, online boyfriends and girlfriends, like, controlling people, and then those people realizing too late that it was actually abuse.
Yeah. Yeah, there is social media abuse. I think we're entering a new category.
Yep. On social media, especially, like, a lot of the more popular platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, there's a bunch of them. And
MySpace.
Sorry to break it to you, but not
What?
MySpace.
What?
I don't even know what that even looks like. I found my dad's MySpace page.
Oh, we can save dads for another episode.
But on these platforms, you can be absolutely inspired to do something new with your life. Maybe you're inspired to make a podcast.
Ooh, I wonder what we would talk about if we had a podcast.
This.
Good
This
point.
is our podcast.
I love it.
Yeah. We're super meta. And when you're inspired, it can do such amazing things. But on the other hand, seeing a lot of people traveling magnificent places, hanging out with their thousands of friends, doing these magnificent things, it can often cause people, especially teenagers, to be jealous or to think that that's how they have to be.
FOMO.
What?
FOMO?
I don't know what that
You've
means.
never heard of FOMO?
No.
FOMO, fear of missing out? That's a thing, FOMO.
I think
FOMO real. It's true.
I think I have this thing. I have to go.
I'm not cool anymore. Between MySpace and FOMO.
Yeah. There's no going back.
I am unapologetically myself.
That's why I love you.
But yeah, that's a real thing. Seeing that, I mean, if anybody wants to watch the Fire Festival, that's a really good example.
Of how social media can affect people.
Yes.
That was great. Oh, gosh. What about you, Mama?
Yeah, I've got some pros and cons. When I think of social media, I think of a way to create your personal brand. And of that, what I see happening a lot right now on Facebook mostly, because that's mostly what I pay attention to, but I know it's there, Snapchat and Twitter and Instagram as well, is parents creating the brand for their child. I try to be really cognizant of what I'm putting online that has to do with my children. And when I'm posting in a public forum type of group, like a mom group, I try not to use their names. I try to say S for my oldest and J for my youngest because I'm aware that I'm creating their brand. I try not to put things that are overly embarrassing. I try to ask them about pictures first before I post them and get their permission because while it might be my Facebook page, it's still their picture. And I try to respect that. Another.
Well, what are the negative effects of making your child's brand? What can that lead to?
Yeah, let's say over the past 10 years, I talked about, only the embarrassing things of Savannah,
Oh,
and
no.
and maybe I had a special page dedicated to that because people do that.
Why?
And it's cute, right? It's cute stuff when our kids do embarrassing things. We love embarrassing things in our family. We have a whole book about it so that we can write embarrassing things that the other person says. And we laugh and we have a good time. But what happens is then somebody else has access to that. So maybe when she applied for college, the college admissions people search her name online. They find this Facebook page and it's only embarrassing things. That's her brand. That's what's out there now. And so I think it's really important as a parent that we pay attention to that and we do service to our children instead of doing a disservice to them.
That is very important.
Another one I really want to talk about is child pornography. And not in the sense where we hear about it today in the news, this person was busted for having this on their computer. When children are pretending to be adults and doing things that they think they would do if they were an adult, like send a picture of them topless to their boyfriend. That boyfriend now, let's say these are two 14-year-olds, a boy and a girl, in a relationship together, and the girl sends a picture of herself topless to the boy, and the boy is 14 years old and has this on his phone. Now he could technically be charged with child pornography. He has child pornography on his phone. So the girl put him in that position, that predicament, without thinking about it. He's really excited he has this picture. Maybe he shows a couple kids at school, teachers get involved. This is a real thing, and kids have been arrested for this. So it's really important that as a child, you're not sending these pictures, that as a child, you're not accepting these pictures. If you know your friends are sending these pictures, you let them know the position that they're putting other people in by doing that. I just don't think kids are aware of it. We only hear about child pornography as like the big scary thing that's out there. This person was arrested for this, and there are always these adult men, and we're forgetting about the children who have this on their phone because they asked a girl for nude pictures. So that's a really, really important thing. And it's, the responsibility of the students to know this as well and to pass that information on to their friends and don't pass the pictures.
There's a lot of bad out there, but there is still a lot of good. Personally, for me, I love social media. Well, sometimes.
She doesn't use it as a typical 14-year-old. She doesn't have Facebook and she keeps leaving Instagram. She'll do a couple really funny posts. There was this one post of her that was probably my favorite. And she was drinking ginger ale. And what did you say?
I drink to forget.
I drink to forget. And I laughed so hard.
I got that from my older sister.
Yeah, I have really funny children.
Yeah, we have a really funny mom, so.
Runs in the family. That's why we have a book of embarrassing things at home.
But back to what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, do that. Social media.
Personally for me, I am able to be myself, and that is really important. I mean, until people decide to bash that. But for the most part, I just get to be who I want to be and who I am. And I get support from my friends and like other people who want to be my friends because of it. And it just like makes me feel really important and special and nice.
Being yourself is important. And figuring out who that is, right? We talked about that on another episode where you might not know exactly who yourself is, but at least this gives you an outlet to explore. Maybe you're on TikTok. And maybe when you're 11, your TikToks are all about Disney songs and it's really precious and cute. And then it turns dark. And that's okay too. Express yourself. How about crowdsourcing and fundraising?
That can be so amazing.
So powerful. It's so powerful to watch people come together for a good cause. That's something that inspires me when I see that on Facebook. I love that people can now have you can set up a fundraiser for your birthday on Facebook and raise money for causes that are important to you. GoFundMe. And while I have seen some GoFundMes, like my dog needs surgery. And I get it. I get it. Your dog, little Fido over there, he's a fighter and he needs surgery. And I get it. Those aren't the ones that inspire me. Sometimes I'm a little cynical about those ones, but the ones where, our parents were in a car accident and, like my brother was in a car accident and we used GoFundMe to raise a very small amount of money that was able to put food on his family's table while he was recovering. And that was really important. I love seeing crowdsourcing happen. I love that people are coming together to make incredible things, even if it's just a fun game that allows you to relax on a Friday evening with your friends. Watching people come together for a common goal of good is a really beautiful thing. I'm super into it.
But I think we need to address cyberbullying.
The world needs to address cyberbullying. It's out there, yo. Even as an adult, I still have that happen. I'm in moms groups and I watch these women attack each other.
Yeah, because
name calling.
Them think that their style of parenting is the right one.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, do you know that you might be doing carpool with this person next year? I had one time, it was so bad. One of my children had lice. This was several years ago. And I took to the moms group to say, A, this is so frustrating. And B, what am I missing? This keeps happening. This keeps coming back. Are there any tips and tricks out there that I don't know of yet? And these moms attacked each other so viciously about their way being the right way. The administrator of the group had to actually take down my post. My post was removed.
I'm not even surprised.
Over lice. And whose way is better?
I mean, my hair was removed over lice.
Yes, that it was. And it was so cute and short and precious.
Yep. Always cute and short and precious.
It's true. What else do you have for us?
Well,
cyberbullying. We're still talking about that. Yes. Gosh, I went on a rant and then I'm like, next subject. Moving on. Thank you. Thank you, next.
You keep on doing that to me.
I'm sorry. I'm just really excited about this topic.
We went on this whole tangent. I was introducing a topic.
I know. I'm kind of a control freak. It's okay.
It runs in the family.
All right. Tell us about cyberbullying. What has that experience been like for you?
Yeah. So I think it's interesting to see how brave people can get when they think that they can get away with it. When they think that, this is never going to come back to bite me.
I know. How have we not figured this out yet?
You're at my school.
I will see you tomorrow on the bus.
Literally, we talk to each other all the time until you decide to do this. So
yeah, thanks, I guess.
But it also, so side note, I cosplay often and I express.
And incredibly, not just often and amazingly.
For my budget, yes.
The budget of a 14-year-old, just bankrolling.
Yep.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Christmas.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
How I got most of my stuff. But I do stuff like that. And then I also try to speak openly about mental health because I find that important. And I need to make sure that all teenagers know that they are not the only one with depression and anxiety. It's very common. And so someone decided that they would bash me for doing those two things. And it made me want to not do those things anymore. it made me like be afraid to cosplay and made me afraid to speak my mind. And that really hurt when I figured out that like that's so wrong in so many ways that someone was able to sit back, relax, and text something on their phone that made me rethink my whole personality. And it was not good.
What
And then
did
I
you
saw them the next day at school.
And what did you do? Did you stop being that person?
No, I decided that it was too much work to stop being that person, so I didn't.
So you didn't stop being that person.
Absolutely.
You realized that you weren't going to give power to the bully.
No.
Mhm.
And shocker, guess who inspired me to not give up who I am? It's you.
Was it me?
It's always you.
Oh,
Every time. Always.
Thank you. Just try to be the person that you deserve. Be the mom you deserve.
Also, I have this thing which upset me so much.
Do I know about this thing? Am I going
I
to find
don't-
about this
I don't know.
on the air?
I don't know.
Is this the air?
No.
Is this the cloud? What is the cloud?
Mom, stop.
Yes, sorry. Go on.
You just keep on going on this old person roll. First it was MySpace, now it's weird abbreviations, and then now it's this.
FOMO is a weird. I didn't mean to say that. I was going to say real.
Thanks for proving
But you're
my
right.
point.
Yep. I'm just going to leave it at that. Yep. It's weird. What's the thing that you're going to tell us about?
Okay, so I'm on TikTok, I'm cringy, and I posted a video about me talking about my depression, and it got reported,
Oh my gosh.
which means it was taken down.
So ridiculous. Everything gets reported.
And it was because I was in
Trolls.
shorts.
I'm sorry. This is the first time you're telling me your legs were exposed. People saw legs.
I was talking about literally
Those are for your private time, Joe.
no legs allowed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, thanks. I feel great.
Yeah, there's a lot of trolls on TikTok just trying to get all the videos down.
I don't know why.
Trolls. Do something better with your time.
They're not trolls. They are 8-year-olds deciding that they belong in a app that literally says 13 plus. And they're like, it's fine. And then they're like, someone said a swear word. And then they like report their whole channel. It's great.
It's awful. Yeah. Yeah, let's stop doing that.
Yeah.
That'd be great. 8-year-olds.
It takes up a lot of room on my
Hopefully
phone
all the
to download
8-year-olds.
every single photo.
Yeah.
Every single video that I make.
Eventually, the 8-year-olds will be 9-year-olds,
And then there'll be a new section of 8-year-olds.
right?
I don't know where you're trying to get with that.
We could stop it right now. We could make a move, make a movement.
I thought you meant like kill all children.
No, tell people to stop having them.
I thought
Stop. Tell
thought
people to
you
stop
meant,
letting them on.
like no more 8-year-olds.
What? Oh my gosh.
What are you doing?
No, I have nothing against the 8-year-olds. I was one.
I was so afraid.
No, 8-year-olds are they're all right.
You should have seen the face that she said that with.
Well, I was doing something else.
They're
I was
too grubby
distracted.
for you.
All children are grubby.
And then they shed their grubbiness when they turn 18.
And I appreciate that.
Like snakeskin.
So cyberbullying. How do we help people listening deal with cyberbullying?
I would just say realize the cowardice in it.
Mm-hmm.
That helped me. Realize that someone has something to say and they're too afraid to say it to your face, or it's not even a real thing that they mean.
Yeah.
Either they'd say it to your face or it doesn't matter.
Yep. And if somebody had true feedback for you in life, they're going to say it to your face because they're someone that loves you.
People got angry at me for responding to constructive criticism that was just saying, hey, this is bad. Get more money so you can do better. And that's not constructive criticism, by the way.
No.
It's
No,
not.
it's not.
It's just bad.
Yeah. Yep. It's a little ridiculous.
I'm 14, man.
You did touch on something else I'd like to talk about, though.
Of course.
That when you're on TikTok and you're talking about your depression and your anxiety, one thing I do love about social media is I feel like we've had the opportunity to kind of reduce some of the stigmas regarding mental health because people are talking about it. And then they see the video and they're like, oh, I can talk about that too. And it just catches on and it becomes almost a movement in itself. And I think that's been a beautiful thing to see. People, Facebook 10 years ago was very different. People only posted the good stuff. And now you do still see a lot of the fake stuff and the good stuff, but you see a lot of the real.
Instagram.
Yes, the fake, for sure. On Facebook, you see I am having the worst day ever and my kids suck posts. And that's okay.
And they're all by you.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to create a movement here.
Also, your kids kind of suck, so.
I mean, all kids do sometimes. So do all adults. Like, I definitely have some sucky times where I'm not my best self. I try to tell myself, how would my best version handle this situation?
This is great because the other day we were talking about how everyone just goes, what would Kristen do?
Yeah.
And you're like, what would good Kristen do? Like, you don't even go to someone else. You also think, what would I do?
That's quite a realization for me. Yeah. Yep. Moving on. Reducing the stigmas of mental health. Yes, let's keep doing that. We all have our things. Anxiety is real. ADD is real. ADHD is real. Depression is real. Asexuality is real. All queerness is real. It's all there. Let's keep talking about it. Not that that's it. Let me make sure that everyone knows I do not think of any form of queer is mental health. But I just kind of went on my tangent of all the things I'm starting to see. And it's beautiful to get it out there and talk about it and be comfortable with it because we all have our things. That's cool.
We're super weird.
Another thing I've seen happen on social media is an increase to voter participation.
Woo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get out there and vote.
Woo.
It is your civic duty. And so it's great to see people become passionate about voting and that process and motivating others to get out there and vote. And then you post, I voted. And it's way cooler than the sticker we used to get.
I'd always put this on my pencils.
Yeah, that's cool too. I like to put them on shirts and then wash the shirt and forget there was a sticker and then the shirt's ruined. So that's always my favorite.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Oh, tutorials.
The thing that helps me live my life.
I love tutorials.
How to do this type of math problem. How to do that type of math problem. How to do makeup. How to do cosplay. Help.
Mm-hmm. How to talk to your 14-year-old. I'm just joking. I could write that one. But I definitely watch tutorials about like hair and beauty stuff and home improvement. And there's a story, and I'm totally going to botch it because I don't have it memorized and it's not about me. But there's a story I read years ago. I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, I'd say. And it's about this mom who built her own house with her children.
Oh my gosh.
Based off of like YouTube tutorial type videos. And this is not a shack, you guys.
It took like 10 years.
Yes, it was like this huge project. It's gorgeous. It's this huge, big, gorgeous, I think it's like a red brick house. It's beautiful. And she just did it. She just watched videos and was like, all right, this is how you frame a window. This is how you do this. And that's so awesome that we have that at our fingertips. And not only awesome that you have the ability to watch a tutorial, but that other people are out there saying, you know what, I'm really good at this skill. And I might be humble about it, but I'm going to share it with the world. And then they make the tutorial video. And we're just sharing all this information and we're not hoarding that information, which used to be an issue where people wanted to be the only one who knew how to do this one
thing.
Mean
that one coworker?
I do have some coworkers who used to hoard information, and now we're really good about sharing it. That's one of our values at work now. And once people start sharing information and they realize, like, if this person over here knows how to do it too, I'm still just as cool as I was yesterday. I'm actually cooler because I taught somebody and now they know it. And once we start that chain of events, it gains momentum, and that's a beautiful thing. Share the information. If you're really good at something, don't be shy. Put out that tutorial video. Teach other people how to be really good at that something as well.
I'm really good at destroying like my beautifully made bed while I'm sleeping.
Yeah, that is a talent of hers. I don't know how she does
My
it.
pillow's go on the other side of the room. My blankets are flipped inside out. We don't even know.
No, we don't. She asked for Christmas this past Christmas of 2018 for me to create a coupon book where I would create coupons that would allow her to turn it into me, and then I would go make her bed. So I did make her a book of 12. So once a month, I will make her bed for her if she uses this coupon, which was a great gift because it's free for me, aside from my time. And she gets a nicely made bed. So she did use it yesterday, and I made her bed. And I haven't seen what that bed looks like this morning, but I have a feeling
It's fine.
it's like my work never existed.
It's fine.
Yeah.
No. The blankets are still all on my bed. So, yeah.
I want to talk about a couple things that I'm not a fan of for social media.
There's many things.
One of them is the mob/witch hunt mentality that I see happen. Sometimes on the moms group, I'll see somebody post like, just had a bad experience at this restaurant. No one go there. And so everybody who likes that person or just likes jumping on a bandwagon is like, what? I'll never eat there again. How dare they serve you cold potatoes? It's ridiculous. Like, please, people, listen to your friends, your mom groups, your peers talk, but then formulate your own opinion. Don't just jump on the bandwagon. Let's not take out restaurants just because one person you know from this one thing had a bad experience.
That might not even be real. Also there's these things called facts.
Yeah, that's the matter of perspective. I mean, if it's a fact, I do know somebody who had a questionable experience at a restaurant one time, and that was factual. So I do not support that restaurant. That is very different than just somebody's opinion of a business and then everybody jumping on that because they just like to jump on these mom witch hunts. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but also I don't really get the point of I had a bad waiter, so I'm going to hate the whole entire restaurant chain. Doesn't make any sense to me, but okay.
Give the small, especially if it's a small business. If you have a bad experience at a small business, give the owner the opportunity to make it right. Give them feedback. Be in that community with them and say, you know what? This is what happened, and here's how I would love for it to be handled. I had that happen one time where I was trying out a new church, and at the time they didn't really have like a new member anything. So I didn't know my way around the church. I didn't know anything about it. And so I wrote to them and I just said, hey, I'm really interested in your church for X, Y, and Z reasons. But I would have loved a tour of your church. And I would have loved the opportunity to maybe meet a couple people. Doesn't seem like there's a, new, I don't say member because I never belonged, but like new participant banquet or something where people had the opportunity to meet each other. And they wrote back and they're like, that's a great idea. Will you help us build this? And they have that now. And while I don't go to church anymore, I was really excited that they were open to my feedback. And together we got to make it better for those looking for a new church home. Always give the feedback. Give somebody the opportunity to make it right. Also, don't jump on the bandwagons.
Right, so if she has an idea, just go with it.
I do have times where I'm not always right.
I do not know of any of them.
But they're rarer, only because I'm an extreme perfectionist. So the more I let go of that tendency, the more opportunity I'll have to be wrong.
And also, you are the like 2% of the population who actually thinks before they speak. So if you go, I think I read this somewhere. Was it right? I don't think so. And then you just don't say it.
That's true. That's true.
No one else does that.
I really don't want to pass fake news. Speaking of fake news,
Let's talk about fake news.
that's a horrible thing on social media.
And it is everywhere.
Y'all, before you share a post on Facebook or any other forum, please look into it.
Also, if you're like, it's right because it has one other thing that agrees with it and it's by the same person and it ends with .com, it's
No,
right.
No,
No, it's not. It's wrong.
Do your research. Don't be a part of the problem. In everything you do in life, be a part of the solution. Don't be a part of the problem. Stop passing the fake news.
Yeah, just stop, please.
Do you have any other points you want to talk about? Because I keep like bulldozing this conversation and being like, I've got another. I'll talk about it forever.
Yes. Like the biggest one that we talked about, parental supervision.
Parental supervision.
That thing that is necessary, but everyone believes it's not. Is necessary.
Yeah. What's it like to grow up with a strict parent when it comes to that? I know a lot of people who aren't strict because of the reaction their children's have. I'm sure there's times for you where that can be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Okay.
Like, you're never wrong. So
I am wrong sometimes.
no, like you're never wrong when it comes to like that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really do bad stuff on social media that much.
Listen,
Anything
parents,
I do, then like you stop me, and that's literally it.
there is
So
nothing good happening on social media past 10 p.m.
true.
Just don't let your kids have their phones overnight. Have them plug them into the charger downstairs in the living room, or if you really need to, your own bedroom. Force them to read a book. Force them to journal, draw, sleep. I know. These kids these days, they go to school and they're like, I'm so tired. I was up till 3 a.m. Like, what?
You mean every single kid at my school? And I'm just like, why? And they're like, oh, I rewatched The Office that I've watched 1,000 times. Just like, why don't you just put down your phone? They're like, my precious.
For real.
Like, I just leave my phone places and I forget about it because I just don't care that much.
Yeah, that's definitely happened. We've definitely had to recover her phone a couple times, but
It's
fine. She's getting better about it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting better with my stuff. I don't sit on my headphones anymore, so.
Oh, man. I think you might have just jinxed yourself.
Yep.
It has been like a year.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we'll miss you, headphones.
I really like these ones too.
Speaking of sleeping, another con.
I'm still talking.
What? I thought you were done with that one.
No, we were talking about parental supervision.
Yeah, we talked about it. Put your phone down. What else do you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about how kids have access to anything that they want to, basically.
Oh, that kind of supervision.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that parents need to be aware of what they're accessing and what they're doing.
Yes. Stay informed.
Because there's kids that will like vape and smoke on social media and their parents have no clue. And it's literally out there for them to see and they just don't watch it.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay informed. Have your kids' login information. I know there's this concept where it's invasion of privacy, but if you really think about it, for the most part, that is your phone that you are loaning to your child to borrow. It's okay to have their passwords and check their phone. Take it once in a while, read through their texts, not only to see what is being said to them, but what type of person are they? It's always been important in our family that you don't put something on social media, you're going to be embarrassed that your mom finds out. Don't text something you're going to be embarrassed if your mom finds out. I always find out. I go through their stuff. It's my phone technically, and it's my job as a parent to monitor the safety of my children. That is not just teaching them to look both ways before they cross the street. It is teaching them their civic duty as a human being on social media? How are you a part of your community? How are you a part of giving back to your community and the world around you on social media? How are you representing to yourself? And are you being safe? Are you talking to people you shouldn't be talking to? And are you speaking in ways that are not a true representation of yourself and the person that you're aspiring to be? And maybe you're not that person yet because you're a jerk 12-year-old boy, whatever, it happens. But it's our job as parents to help guide and facilitate the maturity. They cannot do it themselves. Parts of your brain aren't even fully developed until you're in your mid-20s. We don't have the capacity as children to know the ramifications always of what we're doing and rational thinking and consequences. It's the parent's responsibility. It's why you had children, to help shape humankind. Do your job, please. It's not an invasion of privacy. It's a requirement. Think of it as a requirement. And if your children have a problem with that, then they don't need phones and they don't need social media. Children don't have to have it.
Yeah, I am on one social media, and it's the one that everybody bashes on, and everyone says don't be on that social media. And then literally everyone's still on it, but they just pretend they're not.
I know, it's so ridiculous. But I will say, I follow this other podcast, which I'm such a huge fan of. It's called It's Been a Minute with Sam Sanders. And he just had an episode recently about, he talks about a lot of things, but one of the things he talked about was TikTok and how cool it is. It's actually pretty cool.
It's cool.
And he was having people send him their own TikToks because he wanted to check them out. I did not send any of yours, again, because I'm not building your brand for you.
Follow me.
But I thought about it. Yeah, her TikTok's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I talk about you've seen the TikToks I let you see. You see the ones that I think are cool and aren't sad and aren't depressing. So
she forgets I have access to her phone.
Well, yeah, but
I don't look at them though. I do respect that.
You can, but it's just about depression and stuff like that.
She sends me so many of them.
All the time.
Because they're awesome.
Most of the time.
Okay, well, how about the misalignment of priorities? How about people not sleeping or eating or using the restroom or engaging with their family because they want to be on social media and they need to post this one thing and they need to see what's happening on Twitter? It's really important to figure out your true priorities and then work in that time. Okay, this is my downtime from this time to this time, and that's when I can be on social media. Don't forget to engage in the world around you. Don't forget to eat and sleep. Do your homework. Do your work projects.
I'm going to send this part to my friend. I'm just going to be we are calling you out.
Oh, are we? Yeah. I think we're calling out a lot of people.
Honestly, yeah.
We are calling you all out. Again, back to our disclaimer, we're going to offend people. And we're not really here to make friends. And this is The Bachelor. I'm not here to make friends.
And we've never said that our opinions are the only right ones. In my opinion, my mom always has the right opinion, but we all have different beliefs. And so, yeah, these are ours. And if you don't want to listen to them, then don't. It's not that hard.
Yeah, you can turn this off anytime.
Yeah.
But also don't. We're awesome.
Yeah, you love us. We know it.
Yeah.
All right, I have one major topic to talk about.
Hit me with it.
And I have one more. Digital footprint.
Digital footprint.
I think I try to teach this to everyone who is on Snapchat. Yes, it goes away in 6 seconds. But there's this thing called a screenshot. And there's this thing called a digital footprint where it can still be found. Everything that you delete, it can still technically be found.
Yeah, even regardless of screenshots, there's the cloud. There's things called servers.
But we're going to pretend that you do.
Where information is stored.
Yeah. And there's kids who will put things saying that they're going to shoot up the school or something. And then they expect that not to get found.
You get found.
That won't get traced to your phone and your location, and there won't be police that show up at your door to call you out and say, you are not a smart 7th grader.
Mm-hmm. And possibly arrest you.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. It's really important. It doesn't go away. It is there forever, and someone's going to find it. It makes it really hard for politicians these days. Nothing goes away. So just always be the person you aspire to be.
Yep.
Don't just think, well, this is who I am right now. I'm a cringy 15-year-old.
I mean, I'm a cringy 14-year-old, but
you want to think about, how is this going to represent the person I aspire to be?
absolutely.
Am I going to regret this? I mean, there's a lot of things that
Absolutely.
start with, am I going to regret this? Yes. But don't do the things online that are going to be there forever that you're going to regret.
Yeah, there's a difference between saying something, like if you have to go, should I post this? Is this going to offend most people? Is this going to be a really bad thing on my self-image? Just don't post it. Better
Mhm.
safe than sorry.
Mhm.
That easy.
Mhm. Yeah, and if
It's
you're
really simple.
posting to get compliments, then this is the opportunity for you to say, you know what? Maybe I could try some therapy. Maybe I could work on my self-worth in other ways other than validation through social media.
Because in the end, it is just a bunch of strangers.
Mhm. Mhm.
And although it can really boost your self-esteem, if you need that much of a self-esteem boost, then maybe you should talk to people about it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with therapy. It's helped a lot of us.
Like, yeah, it's the best.
I have a new topic.
Yes.
Wait, can I move on, or
I
did you have
nothing
more?
left.
All right, we can stop hearing you crinkle your paper now.
I was just thinking that Steven is like in the dirt with this one.
This one, I know. We had a lot of noises.
Yeah,
I burped at one
there's
point.
a lot of burping.
Nor
there's,
did. He's going to have to
we
cut a lot of
failed,
stuff
the
out.
First 3 minutes.
He's amazing.
He's the best.
Thank goodness for him.
He's magic.
Can we talk about the dun 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 topic of sexting?
Ugh.
See, that's her reaction because she's 14, and that should be the reaction of a 14-year-old. But I think that's totally okay if you're an adult and in a consensual.
Keywords, if you're an adult.
Exactly. And that's what I want to talk about. Kids, don't be sexting. Again, child pornography charges. Registering as a, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
What's the word I'm looking for?
He doesn't know either.
Sex offender. Oh my gosh, I could not remember that. Okay, I'll try that.
So excitedly.
Registering as a sex offender. You don't want to do that. I promise. It's going to hinder the rest of your life. That's going to follow you forever. Do not be sexting as a child, as a minor. But once you're an adult and you have confidence and self-worth and you're in a consensual relationship, why not? I do love that social media has given people the opportunity to feel human. Like we grew up in a time where if you didn't look like someone on Hollywood, there was something wrong with you. And while many of us still have lingering issues with that, the next generation is coming up where people are making fun of model poses and they're like, this is what I look like when I do that post. And they're real human beings with real bodies. And I think people are starting to get a little bit more comfortable with their cellulite and their stretch marks and their birthmarks and whatever makes them beautifully unique.
And I also want to point out that I've like seen and heard people be like, hey, why isn't my stomach like that? Why isn't my waist that small? And they're looking at these photos and they are photoshopped.
Yeah, they're looking at photoshopped photos.
To the moon and back.
Or
her waist
at people
isn't like that either. Her stomach isn't like that either.
No.
His abs are not real.
No. He is not that chiseled.
Nope.
Also, burgers are awesome.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's nice to just sit down and eat an entire bag of Doritos. So I might not have.
You're attacking by that point because literally everyone I know have done that. So yeah,
I do that. I've done that.
You have?
Of course I have.
Thought you were calling out me.
No.
Or
I love burgers and Doritos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cheez-Its. Yes.
Keep on stealing my Cheez-Its.
Yeah. I found Cheez-Its when I was making your bed yesterday. gross.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
That was
But no,
not a
I'm just
good
saying,
day.
like, I'm not going to have that waist that person has, which is 23 inches, because sometimes I really like a good burger.
And also, that person does not have that waist that person has.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that. All right. So maybe we could wrap it up with the 2 things I wanted to recommend to parents who may be listening. There's a book I really like called Raising Humans in a Digital World by Diane Graeber. I definitely recommend that book. It's new. I recently read it. I'm a huge fan of hers anyways. She's really, really wise in this arena. And she talks about the pros and the cons. There's a lot of good stuff to learn there. And I also like the website cyberwise.org. A lot of wonderful blogs written there. And I just try to keep up to date on what's happening. It'll talk about, like, here's the new apps to watch out on your kids' phones, or how to help your children build a great social media presence for when they're going into college or the workplace. So check those things out if you're looking for any resources. Joe, do you have any last wise words for us?
If you are a teenager on social media, just think.
Yeah.
Just think.
Don't be a jerk.
Is this a good idea? If you have to question the things that you're putting out there, you probably should go with the better safe than sorry route.
Definitely. Better safe than sorry always. Don't give out your information to strangers. Be wise, be smart, and be safe out there. Use it for good.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Goodbye.